if you can master second man press, you will defend 10 times better. But like, I think it's one of the hardest skills in FIFA. From what I see, I think it's like,
because you can end up getting so exposed, can't you?
Yeah. If you don't get it right, you will concede so many times because both players will go to the ball and then someone will just play around you. But if you can get it, perfect, man. I swear it's the best thing you can do. It's something that I'm always trying to learn, like, every day.
If I was to say 2 skill moves that are very easy to practice, would be the roulette in the box and R1 dribbling. In the box, just holding R1 and moving your left stick left and right. You're kind of like jockey on the ball.
I say for me, defending anyway, when you're trying to defend skills, is not to dive in. I sort of hold L2 LT to jockey. Just sort of anticipate where my opponent's going to move. I can say the best way I've learned how to improve with defending is try and put yourself. So when I'm attacking, for example, I would kind of think, what is the best way to defend against that if I'm defending, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I know what would be the most effective way to attack. You kind of think, all right, he's going to end up having to do this to get this angle. So I would jockey to try and anticipate that. But I don't necessarily I wouldn't dive into a tackle. I wouldn't slide tackle in the box or press tackle unless I know I'm 100% certain I'm going to get the ball.
Yeah. Straight away, just from the first few seconds of this game, it seems you don't press down sprint, you're just holding the ball. Do you find this year pace is not as important around other areas of pitch rather than the counter attack and stuff?
I would say it is, but it's more knowing when to use it. So down the wing, for example, using the overback and fullback as well is very useful. But once you get the ball kind of towards the edge of their box, you just want to pass it around. You don't really need to sprint. It's more just wait to see what defense does itself.
There's a speed boost, so if you like hold L1 and go forward and then let go at the right time, you kind of get like a fast speed boost, which I like to do.
So dribbling passes are very important in midfield. Get the ball fired about really quickly and hopefully build up quicker, free opposition off. So dribbling passes in the midfield. Ball rolls are always helpful. I think what it is, it like puts you on par for the next pass, because in FIFA 23, I think the passing system is a little bit strange compared to last year, where I saw a lot of my normal X passes just not going to plan. I think if you got to do a ball roll first, and then like put yourself on target, that makes sense. Like just a little one inside, then you can play the pass at a better angle, I guess.
Yeah.
It's become a massive habit. I've done that for years. Someone always picks up on me. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm like there. And just ball roll away, and it's like kind of like to protect the ball as well, I guess. If I know you're coming, I can just do that, and then it keeps it away from you.
So Harry Kane, right? He's in the centre of the field. I want to send him out. So I'll look at him, and then I'll send him out.
Right. Okay.
So I'm literally looking at him, tapping R1, and then flicking the direction of where I want to go with it.
Okay.
With the right thumb stick. Same with the right back. I'll send him back now. So if he looks at me, there we go. See.
Yeah. And then offensive. How would you do? What's your build-up play? What's your chance creation? Like, what's your go-to? What do you think's the best to use?
So always balance on build-up play.
Okay.
However, if I'm chasing a goal, I'll probably go long ball. Just basically the aim is, as I say, you can get some players running in behind, then you laugh it, a few bodies, pin them back, and create chance from there, and then direct passing. So normally balance direct passing, but it can go to long ball if I'm struggling to break someone down. You know, there's certain players where I know they're already a really good defender. A guy called Nicholas comes to mind, Argentinian player. He's always one where I say, right, I need to do something different. I can't stay on balance anymore. So that's when I'll go long ball. But yeah, normally balanced and direct passing, and then not too wide in attack either, to be fair. Just keeping it fairly narrow.
What are some of the most like effective skill moves you used so far this year?
Ooh.
Or just like that.
That one.
Step over.
Perfect timing. Yeah, the step over straight is what we call it. So it's a step over, and then you press R2 on the exit. So it's kind of like step over sprint.
How would you do this skill move?
I think it's L1.
Yeah.
And because I'm facing the goal, it would be right stick forward and then right stick left. Right stick right and then right stick left. It's kind of a bit glitchy in my opinion.
Yeah, so do you find the animation quite effective?
Yeah, it's quite hard to tackle the person when they're doing the skill at times. So when I'm around in the box, especially with a full-stop skill like the boring, we kind of don't have the elasticos and stuff like that. So I kind of do that to try and just get a shot off, but it worked out there.
And when you're defending corners, do you find bringing up the keeper might help too as well?
Because even if the person doesn't cross it, just in my mind, I'm thinking if the off chance it does, I'm going to have my keeper to move in there and just try and just get the ball from him.
So did you say when defending corners, bringing up the keeper, but just a little bit is like a
thing? That's the first thing I do. As soon as I see the call out, I'm already moving the goalkeeper, so that's very important.
Yeah, you're the first person today to mention the TRIVELA shot. That was extremely overpowered the first few months of FIFA, and it still is really, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's more case now of making sure the players got the outside foot shot right.
Okay, yeah.
So that increases the actual chances of it itself. but I say it is pretty strong still. It's more knowing when to do it.
Yeah, okay. So like you just took a power shot there. Is that something you do quite often, or is that just you trying to show off a bit?
It's actually quite effective.
Yeah.
However, it is manual though, the actual finish. So if I do a power shot, I aim it as a corner flag.
It's the high risk part.
If I try one there, I mean, you're in the way. But if the space is on the edge of the box, is someone who has good, shot power, long shots, then I will try it, but it's not something that I rely on in game.
What's the go-to formation that you think you'll be using this year?
Go-to, I'll give you two, depending on how you play.
Yeah.
The main one that a lot of the pros using is 4-3-2-1.
Yeah.
It's what we call meta, most effective. I don't know what meta actually stands for. It's like most effective something. The pros are loving it, and I'd say like a 4-2-2 or a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Because the 4-3-2-1 is very narrow. So if you ever struggle, you think, oh, too many bodies in the middle, I need something else. Normally go 4-4-2 as like a backup.
L1 and pass is pass ball, and then that person who's passing will make a run.
So when you're on the ball in attack, do you find yourself, slowly being patient in the build-up, or do you just try and hit him on the counter and just, full speed ahead?
I think the first aim is can I full speed at all times?
Yeah.
Like, can I go on the counter attack? That's the first thing. Then if not, build up slow. But my main thing is trigger runs a lot. I think you see a lot of like runs.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it just gives them something else to think about. Like you can't keep marking everything. And then, if I have 3 runners, you got to choose one. Then I'll just pass to another one. That is normally the aim. Obviously, it doesn't always go to plan.
Even what I did done there, like the play lock, that's something that is very, very difficult. Very difficult. So you have to click in ball and then up sticks, and it allows you to change to a person who you're not controlling. So the AI will control the person in possession of the ball, but you're controlling someone to make the off the ball run. So that's something that's very important to learn. I'm not the best at it myself, but it's something that I'm still working on to try and improve.
If you were getting hit on the counter attack and you knew that there's options there for through balls, what's the best way to defend that, do you reckon?
I've tried and always watch the run. I try and force them into making a quick decision, because I feel like if you kind of just give them the time, they're just going to punish you. So I kind of like to trying to force them to make a mistake rather than me trying to wait for them to make a move. So I like to kind of put pressure, but it's very, you got to be able to that, otherwise it's just going to get punished all part.
So at the start, phenomenal player, HAALAND, but as soon as the length in there went, so did he.
Are there any Team of the Year players that you've seen that you think, they'll be good teams?
So I think it's a weird one, but I feel like HAKIMI and THEO HERNANDEZ.
Really?
I think especially the 4-3-2.
Oh yeah, that'll be suit your formation.
Very, very
definitely.
This man.
Yeah, so with this formation itself, obviously you want 2 centimetres on stay back, but you actually want one of them onto balance and cover wing. So the reason why it's this defends then in a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
So I say that's important because this formation, as good as it is going forwards, if you don't have the right instructions, it won't defend the way you want it to.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you can get exposed very easily.
This is probably the biggest thing about the 4-3-2-1, what everyone needs to pick up on if you're going to play this formation, is that the reason one fullback is on overlap is because it's going to be very compact in the middle. You always have an out pass because the left back stays on halfway line if you keep him there and stay back. The right back goes about 10 yards, I'd say, further up the pitch. Yeah. As soon as you're pinned in, you go to the right back, and then they have to come over to you. You have 2 options. You either stay out wide, you either go past him, or you can just bring it back inside again. So, yeah, the 4-3-2-1 does not work with both defenders on stay back.
Yeah.
But most other formations are just, I always keep them on stay back, but for this one, it's got special rules.
Then on the defensive side of your game, do you find yourself using the call for the second man ever?
A teammate contain?
Yeah.
I do. Again, I think they overdo it a little bit. Because you get into the habit of just pressing it all the time.
Yeah, like this now, I think I find that a lot where I'll hold it down and I forget what I'm doing and just see.
Honestly, the one piece of advice is something I'm trying to adapt to right now is to not really use it too much.
Yeah.
I don't like now, for example, when you're attacking me, it's not really the best situation. I'd rather manually defend.
Sure. That's more than I've had so far.
But yeah, I just advise to manually defend and play the switch, if you pass the ball, because what happens is, without you realising, you're probably playing the game like I did, your teammate contain, you'll bring a centre back out, you'll square it, and be like, how's that gone in? But
why is he so?
It's because your teammate contained and he's out of position.
Yeah, I don't like to completely squeeze it in, but I think the whole point of this narrow stuff is if you're playing against 4-3-2-1, they're going to have bodies in the middle.
Yeah. That's
the first thing you need to stop. I think that's the most dangerous part of the pitch, right? You can go down out wide and cross it, but you're kind of relying on, will my player out jump the other one?
Yeah.
So, if you compact the middle, make them cross, should be a harder way of getting in.
One thing I would advise the fullback that you want going forward, have a bit more pace and agility because you don't want them to be too clunky on the ball when you're moving. And then the more defensive fullback keeps stay back. So one on stay back and the other balanced and overlap.
5-star skill moves, yeah, that's very important.
So you like your skills.
Yeah, very important. 5-star skill moves. Of course, the weak foot as well is sort of important, in my opinion, for a striker in and around the area. It's like unpredictable. Like, it makes you unpredictable because you can turn either way. Pace, for years now, we just love to believe that it's always very effective to have like faster players. You wouldn't necessarily go for someone who they could have the perfect stats everywhere else, but if they were, let's say, 60 pace, they can't get through.
Yeah. The problem I have with 4-2-2 is it plays like 4-2-4 in attack. Okay. So when you're attacking, you have the ball, you have 2 midfielders. I feel like your left and right attacking mid are like left and right wing. Yeah. And then as soon as you lose the ball, they take a little while to transition and defend.
So if you're more like an intricate player who likes to pass it around, you think the 4-3-2-1 when it's overloaded more centrally, or?
Yeah, I think it's easy for anyone to pick that formation up as well. From what I've told people online, it seems like a lot of people get on with the 4-3-2-1 a bit more, because I think the way the AI sets up, because obviously we can only control one player out of 11, so you need the AI to set up nicely for you. And in the 4-3-2-1, it just feels like whoever you pass to, it's always, you know, you got the fullback option, or you got ones in midfield as well, and you got the forward. So yeah, it seems to me, I'd say that's the one for most people to.
That's the one that everyone said so far. They give me 1 or 2, and every time it's the 4-3-2.
Yeah,
it does take a while, but I would definitely say go to like skill games or the practice arena, and then once you get a very good understanding of it, then start implementing it into games. But it's not going to happen overnight, and but you should have some comfortability with it and get used to it.
Yeah. I've noticed, speaking to a lot of the pros, is they don't tend to go for that. They tend to go balanced. Yes. Is that what you do as well?
Yeah, because I think pros like to manually rely on the game as much as they can with their own input first. And I think the thing with press on possession or press on heavy touch is good and it will work for a lot of people, but it's the time that you don't want it to happen and then it happens. You know, like you might be 1-0 up and you think, right, like I want to relax for 5 minutes. And you know, all your players are flying forward.
And then you got counter.
Yeah, counter-attacked. Yeah, and I think some pros, if they're in a rush or they want to press the ball, they'll just flick T press on in the game. Yeah. I think it's down then left.
Yeah.
And they'll do that instead.
The depth is personal preference. If you go into 71 territory, there's something called auto-offside trap. So like your team would auto kind of push up a bit more.
Sometimes it is good for the game to help you as much as you can, because obviously we don't have full control over every player.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the auto-offside traps are a sticky one because, you know, they'll pay off one time. The next time you think, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I could have just done it myself.